Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The following is a paid program by Carl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Carl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your Health Matters with Carl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple lovers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple.
Bring you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Carl Sterling.
And good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing great. It's a beautiful day here in central New York. Blue skies, sun, looking out the window here, all the green. I love the contrast of the green of the leaves and then the blue skies. Of course, it's beautiful down here in this area. So let's say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'm very lucky to be a father of 2 amazing children and 4 beautiful grandchildren. I'm a grandpa. So isn't it great? Happy Father's Day to all. We go into this week with a new thing happening here, a couple new things. First of all, I'm thrilled that we're in a 2-hour format now. And in this hour, I have a special guest here who's actually going to be my co-host today and moving forward. Should be here very, very frequently, and I'll introduce her momentarily. The second hour today, we're going to have dear friends of mine, Russ Parker, Laura Olmos. Both of them live with Parkinson's disease. They are known around the world, internationally, as the example of what it is to fight back against disease, against Parkinson, managing disease symptoms, slowing disease progression, teaching others, inspiring others. So they'll be joining us at noon, in the noon second hour of the show. And speaking of the show, I kind of like to talk about our general goals of the show. And my goals for this show from the very beginning kind of dovetail what Dr. Berry set forth, is to educate you on what it is to live a healthy life, a healthy, long health span within your lifespan, to, let's say, increase your number of years of health, to live a long time, a longevity-focused show. That's the number one thing, folks. Now, Dr. Berry is medicine. I am not a doctor. I am not a medicine. I don't practice medicine. I practice movement, cognition, memory, brain, body is what we work on rehabilitating and restoring or just improving in general. So this is what the show is about. We have lots to talk about today in the first hour about things we do at the Neuromotor Training Clinic. Book of the week this week is none other than my book, or my 3 books. If you go to carlsterling.com, Carl with a K, of course, I have 2 books about Parkinson's. Just go to the books tab. It'll take you over to Amazon. They're available. All 3 books, including the Walking Your Way to Longevity, my newest book, which is very small. It's like $5 or something, or 6 or 7. I can't remember what it is. But anyways, all 3 books are focused on managing your health. If you have Parkinson's or any other balance, movement, cognitive issues, this isn't just for Parkinson's. I'm writing another book right now it's really for all humans because we all have nervous systems. We all have a brain. And while we may be, it may be something different that causes each of us to, let's say, decline in these areas over our lifetime. Let's say our movement is compromised, or cognition or memory. The interventions, these strategies, the concepts to get us back towards good cognition, better cognition, memory, and movement, well, they're all the same. Almost every time we go in with the same thing. We tailor our intervention to the individual and what they need, what they can do, and what their goals are. So, Parkinson's regeneration training, Parkinson's empowerment training, and steps to longevity. KarlSterling.com. Those are the books of the week. Podcast of the week, though, I got to tell you, I found a new one and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's called The Neuro Experience. Neuro. Neuro Experience with Dr. Luisa Nicola. She practices in New York City. All I can say is I'm hooked on this one. I've been listening to it all week, and her guests are great. Her info's great. It's a longevity-focused show. I absolutely love it. Now we get to the fun part here. I have a co-host with me today. A lot of you know her, and if you know her, you love her, because she works with me at my clinic. And so I would like to introduce my dear friend, my right-hand person at my clinic, my co-host, Elizabeth Brusa. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm so excited. It's good to have you here because, we banter around a lot at the clinic.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of fun.
We do have a lot of fun.
I want to wish you a happy Father's Day, and to all my family and friends out there, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. By the way, I didn't say it yet. I got to say thank you, producer Anna. Hello. She's awesome. She makes our job so easy here. Okay. Let's talk about the things we do. What do you think about that?
Well, we do a lot.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun in the process of doing it.
Right. So, we're serious about what we do.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be serious all the time.
That's right.
And pardon me, folks, I know my right vocal cord is paralyzed. I can feel it. It gets that way during allergy season. So, okay, you can bear with my raspy voice today. But, yeah, I wrote down some notes here. I was thinking, our clinic is, longevity focused.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We have some amazing people, don't we?
We have a lot of great people that come through our doors. I really enjoy my job. I love working with everybody. I love being there. I love being with you. It's really a lot of fun. We're a small community of people that you learn from each other, too. You encourage each other.
They do. One of the things I love about what has come out of this, and this was not my focus in the beginning, before you started working with me, I never thought of the community aspect. But we have that.
Yeah, we do. It's really great. Everybody knows each other.
Yeah. They get to know each other.
Yep.
And they talk, they learn, they inspire, they hang out.
Drink great coffee.
Oh, yeah, you get free coffee, folks.
Yeah.
And it's really good stuff, isn't it?
It is very good stuff.
Yeah. Now, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I got my kilos from Mexico. Right. So I did buy kilograms of coffee. Used up all the ones from my last trip, so I ordered more. And Laura, who'll be, I guess, on the show, facilitated that for me. But this coffee is like nothing else I've ever had.
No, it's very good. Very, very good.
And if you like coffee, then, well, we're the place to be. Plus, you get dopamine produced by having our coffee.
Come work out, then sit down and have a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe, I think we'll save bioDensity for the second quarter because we're going to do, Anna, we're doing hard stops, right? 15, 30, 45. Okay, cool. Got 2.5 minutes left. Let's talk about a couple things we do. We do stuff with, because I want to dig into bioDensity a little, although next week's, at least an hour next week is devoted to this.
Okay.
Which has to do with bone density. VO2, we'll put that off. Well, we help people with pain.
Yes.
What happens?
They come in, Karl works on them, gives them some suggestions, and they leave almost pain-free, or if not, all pain-free. It's great.
I didn't pay you extra to say that, did I?
Nope.
part of our normal banter is to have fun and bad jokes, right? I have all the bad jokes. She has the good ones. Well, we do. You know, we had somebody in, I won't ever say any names on air, came in, not like a serious case, and this is more of an acute case, like trying to trim something, pulled something, twisted, you know, whatever. And I just went in with the vibration gun and just did what I do, especially, you know, that sciatic region, piriformis, and all that other stuff. And then I put the pulse unit, it's like a TENS unit, folks, but it's not TENS. It's electropulse therapy. You know, she felt a lot better. I know she's still stiff. We were communicating, but the thing is there's a time and place for the drug, the anti-inflammatory. But a lot of pain clinics, man, they're just giving you pills.
Yeah. I know. I've been there.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. There's a time and place for everything. Well, one of the things I hear often, and, you know, I'm saying this because it's true, not because I feel special or it's my ego. I mean, that's not even an issue. But I do want the best results. We want the best results.
Yeah, we do.
We just don't want to have people coming in and, like, not getting anything. What we do has to transfer out the door with them.
That's right. And we also follow up on it. We also ask how they're doing. So come in and check us out for that. If you're having any kind of pain, back, leg.
Yeah.
Karl can't help you, then go to the doctor.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. Okay, folks, heading out for break. This is Your Health Matters with Elizabeth Bruce, Karl Sterling. News Radio 570, WSYR 106.9 FM. We'll be right back. Okay, let's continue. So speaking of pain management, you know, I do that a lot every day. I've got this little cubicle, if you will, or whatever you call it, and, you know, the therapy table there. We have a number of tricks up our sleeve between let's say the vibration, you know, the gun. Not what you think, folks. It's a vibration gun. But it's therapy vibration gun. Yeah, there's a zillion brands out there. We happen to have the best ones because they do it at a different frequency. But we have the electropulse, right? The only people we can't put that on is somebody who has a pacemaker or some kind of electronic device implanted in their chest that has to do with the heart. Or pregnant, yeah. Otherwise, we can use that on you wherever on your body. And I'll tell you, we have really, really great results with that, not just for pain, but for activating underactive muscles like, let's say, somebody with drop foot. Tibialis anterior goes on slack. We put it in the right places. Boom. We help to strengthen it, stimulate the nerves, get it fired up. The tape, I use rock tape. They support the work I've been doing for probably close to 10 years. Best kinesiology tape on the market. That and the pain spray. I might as well do an ad right now, folks. And the frequency patches.
Yes.
Now, some people think these things are nuts, but I'm going to tell you, I had people buying them yesterday because I got a new shipment in. You know, our friends who were going to Europe. Yeah, they bought a couple of sheets of pain patches because they work. It's not drug, it's not pharma, it's frequency, and it's real. So a lot of the things we're going to talk about this first hour, or maybe every hour in every show we ever do, a lot of the medical community is not aware of it, and the ones who are, a few of them are like, oh, this is cool, and the rest of them are like, you guys are nuts. Well, we're not nuts because we get results. We have another pain thing. I'm going to say it right now. It's called Play on Relief. Play on Relief. We've had great results with this. It's all organic. There's no chemicals. There's no pharma. There are no drugs. The natural ingredients that cannot hurt you. It will help you. We have this at my clinic. You can buy bottles from me. They're $25 a bottle. You spray it on. You don't rub it in. And you've tried it, right?
Oh, I have tried it. It works really well. Very well.
We've sold a lot of bottles.
We have sold a lot.
In fact, we're going to need more soon. I've used it. We've never had anyone not respond well to this.
I don't think so.
And quickly.
Yeah, quick. Yeah.
And longer lasting.
Yes.
Yeah, like 2, 3, 4 times as long as something like, Voltaren or Blue Emu. And they're all good, folks. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm not saying to put them, throw them under the bus. They're good. This is better. So if you go to Play on Relief, just how it sounds, or better yet, just go to my website, to the sponsors page for the radio, and then click on their thing there. Enter the discount codes on my website. All right. You can save 15% at checkout, but you can buy it from me for about the same price. So let's talk about this cool machine we have that looks a little bit to me like something from outer space, or a little like old version of an outer space thing, but the bioDensity.
Yes.
This is like
my baby.
This is your baby.
This is my baby. This is what I do.
You're there for hours.
3 hours at a time. I stand at the bioDensity machine helping people build their bones.
So what's happening?
We're getting results.
Yeah.
Fantastic results in a very short time.
You want to share any of them, like any that come to your head?
Well, let me just say the ones that are getting the best results are the ones that are consistent. When you do this consistently, they're getting, and when I'm talking in a 6-month span, they've been coming in very faithfully every week, at least once a week, definitely twice a week. And they're doing this machine with me and they're getting results. And it's amazing. Coming from osteoporosis into osteopenia, or totally out of osteoporosis and penia in parts of their bones, their hips, their spines. It's amazing. It's amazing, folks, for such an easy activity that we're getting such results. It's awe-inspiring.
It's one of a kind, this device, right? I mean, there's another company out there that has it too, not locally. We're the only ones between Rochester and Utica or Rome or whatever. But there's another brand out there, and it's actually the exact same technology because they lease it from bioDensity. All right. So bioDensity is the original, and it's 4 exercises, 1 machine, although I really want to propose a 5th shoulder loading exercise, overhead press. I think it'd be great. But what we're looking at is, if you've had a DEXA scan, they do the L1, 2, 3, 4, those lumbar, that lumbar spine area. And then, folks, they should be doing both hips. If they're not DEXA scanning both hips, you got to ask for both hips, because what if they do the hip that doesn't have? Let's say you don't have any osteo stuff in one hip, and that's the hip they do. You got to get the other side, because what about the other side? We have people who have none in one side and osteopenia or osteoporosis in the other side. So don't let them do one hip. Got to do 2. And all I can say is I'm not a doctor, but I see the difference in the people who have 2, because now they know more what to do.
Right.
You got to have both hips done. Not all hip parts are from side to side, respectively, are going to be the same. You have unusual wear and tear on one hip because of whatever, shorter leg or tight muscles that make a leg look like it's shorter when it's actually not. Or an injury or a surgery from the past, or who knows? It could be any number of things that feed into asymmetrical movement and wearing down of one side cartilage more than the other. And bone density issues. You got to have both hips done. What's your favorite story of this so far? Do you have any?
My favorite story?
Of results?
Well, one thing that I'd like to say is my sister-in-law. She came in. She has osteoporosis, but about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, she shattered her elbow. That's how she found out she had osteoporosis, is through that process. She, her first couple times doing the osteoporosis, or the bioDensity machine, she actually loosened the scar tissue in her elbow that was formed, and I think that's just amazing. She doesn't have to wear her brace anymore on her arm anymore, because it doesn't give her any pain or movement. I think that's amazing in itself, that was a extra benefit of the machine. Plus, now she had excellent results on her DEXA scan.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a serious improvement.
Yeah.
I don't remember the numbers. I only know that they were very, very significantly better scores over, and the total score was great too.
She's a very active person, but this is giving her more
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
results.
Well, that's interesting about the scar tissue. I wonder if it's because, like I've said on the air many times, when you are positioned for each exercise on this machine, you're positioned so your degree of flexion and whatever respective group of muscles you're working on. So your elbow flexion, your knee flexion, hip, whatever, you're positioned to be strongest. So your max force loading, like
Yeah.
you're pushing how much on a chest press? Do you mind sharing?
Over 600 pounds, almost 7.
Yeah, do you
Sometimes
do that on
8.
the actual Smith machine?
No.
No, I can't do that either. I can't even do 200 pounds. I'm lucky if I do 100 pounds on it.
Yeah.
But on this machine, because it's an isometric contraction where you're positioned to create the most force, I wonder if that causes a shift in that scar tissue.
I would imagine it does.
Because what else would do it?
I have no idea.
I don't
That's
either.
the only thing she's been doing differently.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because, like, for her and the others who have come in, the only change in their workout routines is they added in this machine.
That's right.
I love it. I just love it. Oh, I mean, from a personal note, I'm stronger than I've been ever.
Well, I feel stronger.
You are strong.
Oh.
You're super strong. You're pushing some serious weight. But you weren't doing it
No, I
last
wasn't.
July when we started.
No, I wasn't.
And now you are.
Yeah. The routines I mean, you've helped me a lot in my routine. I'm a not very sedative person, but I could have been. Now it's because of what I'm doing, because of you. I've become more active.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm afraid of you now.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
No, not really.
No.
No. So the other thing, too, I was reading an article this week, and then I found a video about this by the same guy who I'm trying to get him on the show. He responded. He's just so busy. But one day, maybe when we get syndicated, hint, hint, I heart. Okay, so anyways, when you load isometrically, you're not just strengthening muscles. You are strengthening tendon. And I don't know if I ever showed you. I just showed the lawyer who comes in to work with us, our buddy.
Our buddy.
I love him.
Yep, I do too.
We were doing, I think it was him yesterday. I was showing the length-tension relationship and the difference between training a muscle and training a tendon. And I don't want to go too sciencey, but basically when you're loading like this isometrically, or you're doing leg extension, and then you go kick it all the way out on the leg extension machine and then drop down slightly till you feel the burn just above the knee.
Yes, my favorite.
Yeah, I know you love that one. You're hitting the tendon real hard. You're actually developing more tendon strength there than muscle strength. The full range of motion will get you the muscle.
Yes.
The isometric max force loading of bioDensity will get both. I have all this data in my head, like when we're positioned in the degrees of flexion you are on bioDensity for each respective position compared to another machine of the same exercise, you're 6 to 7 times stronger. That's why you can push 600 pounds. Or how much on the leg press? Go ahead and share it.
My highest was 1887.
I know, it's so good, man. Yeah, that's really good.
all
But
I can
so
say.
now if you look at that, you're loading the muscle and the tendon. Well, what are those attached to? Yeah, bone.
Bone.
Through the
bone.
cartilage, because tendon becomes cartilage. So you're mechanically loading all this force, but safely.
Right.
Because you're not going to let go and it crashes on you and you die or get crushed. You don't get hurt. You just push or you pull, whatever the exercise is. Mechanically, you load so that the reaction hormonally and chemically is trabecular soft tissue bone growth.
Got it. That's right.
Yeah, well, you're the one who taught me that because I forgot about the trabecular.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little less than a minute before break. When we come back, I'd like to talk about a lot of other stuff. I'll decide on the break.
Okay. You could do that.
But, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. It's really good to be here. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is fun. We have fun at the clinic. We're fun here. Just, you have a lot to share. I want everybody to hear what you have to say because you know a lot and you help people so much. So I'm very fortunate to have you. They're fortunate to have you helping them.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
And I enjoy it.
I'm great. I'm not great. That was a misspeak. I'm glad.
Great.
I am glad. All right, heading out to break. This is Your Health Matters. Karl Sterling and Elizabeth Rootstaw. 570 News Radio, 570 WSYR. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. I try to make this show a positive spin. I'm going to say one thing right now, that splash pad shooting is so horrifying that some of the kids these days, I say kids, I mean people in their anywhere under 30, 35, 40 years old, they actually, some have, they're worried about shootings in Costco or now a splash pad.
I know.
It's
sad.
very, very heartbreaking. So I just had to say that. Very heartbreaking. I want to talk about taking ownership of your health and well-being. You've heard me say it before, and here he goes again. Engaging in your own health programming. Okay, so when you come to our clinic, it's a joint effort. We work to empower you. So, Elizabeth, do you ever have times that you don't want to work out?
All the time.
Yeah. And
All the time.
what do you do to make it so that you actually do work out?
First of all, I hear you in my head. Just get moving.
Oh, boy.
And second of all, once I do get up, especially when I'm home, I really don't feel like working because I've worked all day long. Everybody, working mothers, working fathers, you have your routine. You just do not feel like doing anything. If I sit, I'm gone. So I literally get up and just do it. And I feel better afterwards. I go for a walk. I even just cleaning my house, just move. I just don't like sitting.
Well, you've mentioned, if you don't mind me bringing it up, like even in the morning, once you get up, you keep moving.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's not what I do. I get up, let the cat outside, go make coffee, maybe do a couple other things. Coffee's done, go sit. Of course, I do read. I'm always reading in the morning, preparing things for the day, workouts, but I don't keep moving. And then I got to get up off the couch because after a few minutes, if I stay there, like my friend Russ Parker will probably say today, an object that stays at rest tends to stay at rest. Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, that was me yesterday. I have to admit, yesterday I was very lazy.
So, but the thing is look at you. You redid VO2 Max, and I know I can talk about it because you said I could, and
Yes.
you crushed it.
Yes, I did. I'm very proud of my results.
So we do VO2 Max testing, folks. We do resting metabolic testing and VO2 Max. As far as I know, because we've had people coming in from out of town to do this, like even Rochester, that people aren't finding a place to do it, or Watertown, or other places. They come to us. $250, about an hour with us. You're gonna get the data that you cannot get any other way. Period. And if you find another place to do the VO2 testing, you're not going to get the data from them either. And you know why? Because we have the highest end device made by Pnoe, P-N-O-E, which is a Greek word for breath because they're based out of Athens, Greece. This is the highest end product that there is out there. I tested myself. My resting test wasn't quite as good on my birthday on June 5th. But it wasn't bad. It was fine. My moving test was great.
Yes.
And my biological age went down to 53 or something, and I'm 63. And you had a couple things change in yours. Tell me about that.
Well,
And that's because, folks, she took control over herself, or her programming of her health. This girl will work out when she doesn't feel like it. I tend to do that too because of when I work out, I never actually feel like it. But you're taking control. And so you're reaping the benefits of this. And tell us about this test.
Well, the first time I took it, as you know, Carl, I wasn't very happy with my breathing and cognition.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it for 9 months.
And I kind of didn't want to retake the test because of it. But through his coaching and my hard work, I actually now can walk and chew gum at the same time. I got 100% on my cognition and breathing.
During movement.
During movement.
Running.
And yes, I was running on the treadmill. You don't have to run long. I did the easiest level because I am not a runner. I am a walker. I will walk fast, but I am not a runner. I will stress that to the end. There's nothing wrong with running. I just don't enjoy it. I love to walk. I will walk miles, but I am not a runner.
So that score went up. What other scores changed? Because you were at 12% last year.
Yes, I was. I was 12%.
12% on cognition.
Everything went up.
Yeah.
Everything
I know
went
it
up.
did.
My metabolic rate went up. My metabolic age went down. I am 56 years old. I will be 57 in August. I went down on 2 years. I'm now 45 in my metabolic age, which, everybody likes to feel younger, so it's kind of good.
No, that's really, really, it's so impressive. But you do the work. I watch you, in between. If we have 20 minutes, you're usually doing something.
Yes.
Exercising.
Yeah, exercising, even if
And
it's
I'm
isometric.
usually sitting, doing something else.
That's not true. That's not true.
I've been lifting a lot lately, folks, because I need more muscle mass according to my resting test.
Yes, so do I.
I have
actually.
much more than last year, but I need more because I want, I really want to live a long time. And muscle is the organ of longevity, metabolism, and movement. And when you lose muscle mass, well, a lot of bad stuff can happen. I don't want that to happen, so I got to build it now. Keep it.
Yes.
So this whole thing about cognition, though, let's think about this. If your score was 12% last year, and we've had quite a few people who are low cognition during movement, basically what it means is that you're breathing, you're having some irregular breathing. Oh, let me rephrase that. Breathing irregularities. Little like very, 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 very subtle hyperventilation, or perhaps holding your breath just a little bit here and there. And what that does is it takes oxygen away from the brain, so your processor doesn't work as well. It's that simple, and it draws it towards your body. Well, your body needs it too, but your brain needs it too. So you did. This is 100% congratulations.
Thank you. But through that testing, though, and I do realize that when I start my exercise process, I do tend to hold my breath. So now I'm very conscious of not holding my breath. I really take the time to breathe correctly.
Well, yeah, you've done so well with this. Before we go to break in a minute, I just want to say on my website, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K, I put up a new tab a couple weeks ago called Breathe. So if you want to learn some things about the most common breathing issues, challenges, disorders, I have I have an experience with all this too. I'm very experienced with breathing problems,
Yes.
but I've turned it all around.
Yes, you have.
Completely. I've never breathed better than I am now. But on that site shows common breathing disorders in addition to breathing exercises. And keep checking back because I'm adding new stuff. So you are listening to Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570, also available on 106.9 FM. My co-host is Elizabeth Brusa, my right-hand person at the clinic. My name's Karl Sterling, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back with Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570. WSYR, my raspy voice is with me today. So, pardon me, folks. Anyways, when we're talking about this whole taking ownership of your health and well-being, we can help you by assessing vital areas of your health. VO2 max is one way, resting metabolics is another, body composition is another, a whole bunch of fall risk assessments, movement assessments, balance and strength assessments that nobody's going to do these anywhere else. We have the coolest stuff. We have the most sophisticated equipment to assess everything, including your cognition and memory, okay? Because you want to know where you stand, because these things don't lie. So, that brings me into another thing I want to talk about. Remind me, please, to talk about dementia. So we're going to look at your health history, your current state of health and activity, and your goals. And then we're going to help you to determine where to spend your time exercising and help you to set realistic but challenging goals, appropriate and challenging, measurable, something we can measure over time, because we'll keep redoing things to reassess you. All right, but where you spend your time, let's talk about that for a minute. There are people out there who don't want to do VO2 max tests because they want to get more fit. But this is a problem, because what if you're doing the wrong things to get fit, then you do the test? It's not that anything's wrong, by the way. That was a bad thing to say. Let's say you're not doing the optimal things. Maybe you need muscle mass, but you think you need cardio. So you go out and you're running and you're doing cardio or whatever. And then, you would have been better. You would have been better off knowing where to spend your time, because maybe it's resistance training. Because so far, we haven't had a single person coming in who doesn't need more muscle mass.
Correct.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Me too. Right now, I need it. So I'm working on it. Yeah. So why wait to learn the truth and just figure it out with us? We'll help you. We're going to, approach all of your goals and working with you in an integrative, holistic, functional manner. Brain and body. Movement, memory, and cognition, folks. All right? But you have to be an active participant in this. You have to take ownership, because nobody else can do it for you. There's no pill that will substitute taking ownership. Oh, man. If walking, like speed walking, could come in a pill form,
that'd be great.
If I could develop that and sell it,
you'd probably make a fortune.
Yeah, I wouldn't be working anymore.
No. Everybody wants a pill to fix everything, but that's not the way it is.
No, there's a time and place for everything. Pills, surgeries, whatever. There's also a time to just get your butt moving.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at her when I said that. That didn't mean you. I could look at myself and say this. Get my butt moving. I have to shame myself into it once in a while. I think about somebody maybe who can't move well, who fights and comes in anyways. What's my freaking problem? I just don't feel like it. Oh, poor me. I better get moving. So don't be poor you. If you can move, move. Let's continue. Let's talk about some other things. Like, if you want to get a hold of us, you call 315-935-7488. 315-935-7488. You call, you text. We'll get you in. Take a look around. You get no pressure. We don't pressure anybody.
No, we do not.
You either want to do it with us or you won't. Most people end up, yep, we're going to go for this because we know you care. You care.
Yes, I do care. Very much so.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm so lucky to have you working with me and our people. I mean, you care. There's no substitute for that.
Thank you.
What other advice do you have for people? By the way, we didn't rehearse or talk about anything before this.
We didn't really.
I wrote out a list, and I have about 75% of it we did not talk about, nor will we hit today.
That's probably true.
Because we're just going to go with the flow.
You said something about wanting to talk about dementia.
Thank you. Thank you. There are numerous times we have a loved one. Let's say, okay, there's a person with dementia, Alzheimer's, maybe even Parkinson's, cognitive decline. It usually has to do with cognitive decline, dementia, Alzheimer's, that we work with, whose loved one or caregiver is in complete denial. Well, no, it can't be that. It's not that bad. Oh, no, he can't have that. She doesn't have that. It's just, this is an excuse. There's a myriad of responses. But the denial is something I don't want people to deny these things, and go see a doctor. With that, I don't know who you're going to see. There are a lot of great doctors out there. I don't know who to tell you, but your GP should be able to tell you, your general practitioner, and go get some imaging done and check things out, because the sooner you catch any of these things, the better you can do. People in early stage Alzheimer's, it can be reversed a lot of the time.
Yes, I have been told. One of the ways of doing it is to move, to walk. Walking is great for your brain. They say cardio lights up the brain. It does more for your brain than it does for your heart. More and more proof. Karl keeps sending me every day new information about cardio and keep moving. And that's another reason why I get up and move, because I want my brain to fire up and to wake up and learn. Practicing things. We have tests in our clinic that you can practice. One of the things that Karl made me do is memorize the alphabet backwards. Well, I'll tell you, I used to sit up doing that every night before I went to bed, and now I know it. And we're getting others in our clinic doing it. It's an amazing little trick to just keep your mind going and doing things. And now doing this radio show, I'm going to be reading more and up on more information so I can share with you guys on the radio and help Karl in the clinic more.
Thank you. Yeah. So what's the point? Alphabet backwards. Big deal. Well, no, it is, because it doesn't matter that you know it backwards. What matters is that you know it backwards. You trained yourself. You used your brain in a way to learn this, which means you can learn other things too. We can do this in so many areas or so many domains of cognition and memory. This is what we do. We do this with so many things at our clinic, with all these cool tools. The concepts tools we use, the Smart Fit.
Yeah, the Smart Fit, the Synaptic.
The Synaptic screen.
Yeah.
While we're on the Reaxing giant wobble board, which is the coolest thing since sliced bread, even cooler than that. And H-Amps lights.
Yes, the H-Amps.
We got a ton of things that nobody has in town. I'm just saying this because, Onondaga Physical Therapy sends people to us because they know we have stuff nobody else does, and we send people to them because they're our favorite. I wrote down some notes that I don't think I sent to you last night, but we are here to help you declare war on dementia, cancer, Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, obesity, Parkinson's. We need to declare war on these things because there are things you can do about all these conditions.
Yes, there is.
We also need to declare war on the lame excuses. I look into my future and I say, whose burden do I want to be? Nobody's. I can't bear the thought of shoulda, coulda, didn't. And then, somebody's got to schlep me out of a bed and help me go to the bathroom. No disrespect to anybody, folks. You can't control some things. God forbid any of us has a serious accident and we're disabled or just something happens that's just, you can't control it. We understand this. But there are so many who can control their actions and they choose to just put it off. I have been there. I did it. I don't do that anymore.
I have to say, though, my family and I went through a lot with my dad. My dad was a very, very active man. And to see him decline, I don't believe it was his fault because he was very active. But to see him decline his last year of life, not being able to move, was the hardest thing I've ever went through in my whole entire life. And my father did not like being like that, trust me. But it happens, and I know it happens. But if I can prevent that happening to my children, I am going to do everything in my power to do that. Because I don't want to be a burden. Not that my father was a burden, because me and my brothers and sisters did it out of love. We took care of him and my stepmother. We did it because we loved him, but it was hard. It was hard to see him like that. But we had to do it. But and he did not want to be like that, trust me. But it happens. But if you can prevent that, do it.
I'm glad you said that too. My dad, happy Heavenly Father's Day to my father.
And my father too.
Love him very much and I miss him.
Me too. My father very much every day.
he had a rough last few years, and he it wasn't his fault. So there are things that happen, folks. There are things that happen that you can't control. But if there's something you can control now, like invest in you now, thinking about your future self is likely to thank you, because the odds are you will do better down the road. So either invest in you now or you pay a lot more later in most cases. So you can sign up for the daily text messaging, which gives you daily, usually short videos. Sometimes it's 6 or 7 minutes. Usually it's 30 to 60-second videos. Just things to think about longevity and health. Sign up for our email list. Look at the Breathe tab. And when we come back after the noon break, top of the hour news break, we have two very special guests. Both are Parkinson's fighters. They live with Parkinson's for many years. I've traveled extensively with both of them and taught with both of them a lot. Russ Parker and Laura Olmos are going to join us. That was fun this first hour.
It was fun.
Well, I'm enjoying this. This is good. And remember, if you need us, folks, you call me. 315-935-7488. Come in. We're going to help you declare war on anything you want to take control over in your health, movement, longevity, cognition, memory. This is Karl Sterling with Elizabeth Brusta, News Radio 570, WSYR 106.9
Karl
FM.
Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician. The following is a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your Health Matters with Karl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple uppers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills.
Bring you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Karl Sterling.
Thank you, producer Anna. We're back for a second hour. Oh, I love this whole 2-hour format deal here. This is just like, I'm grateful. Folks, I have to start off with something specific here, and then I'm going to introduce two very, very good friends and special guests. You've heard me talk about the Dr. Lewis Daily Brain Care. So if you're looking to boost your brain power and enhance your overall health, I highly suggest you stop by our clinic and pick up either the powder format or the capsules. This is a breakthrough supplement designed to support cognitive function and much more. It's not just any supplement, though. It's a potent blend of 6 functional foods featuring the highest bioavailable polysaccharides from BiAlo, which is a registered trademark there, and a unique rice bran blend packed with essential phytonutrients. It includes a patented calcium silicate clay form of bentonite, which promotes detoxification without compromising nutrient absorption. So we have people taking this. We have a lot of people doing it now. I've been taking it for many months. I love it. It helps me with my mental clarity. It helps me, I think, with sleep better too. And it helps me to just balance out my system and detox a lot of that stuff that's in me without causing the typical detox type of feeling. So you can go to my website, all right, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. Go to the sponsors tab of the radio show, click on the Dr. Lewis Daily Brain Care, and pick up a bottle there or in my clinic. All right, we are here with two special guests. We're going to be talking about Parkinson's disease for the next hour. And with me today from Mexico, just over the border of Laredo, Texas, and Mexico. I have joining my very good friend, Laura Olmos. Laura, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Our pleasure. And another dear friend who I met years ago in New York City, somewhere in, I think on K Street. So, Russ Parker, Huntington, Long Island. Welcome.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. Good
All
to
right,
see you.
brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The reason we are having the both of you on this show today is because what put us together, besides God, is you have Parkinson's and I teach people how to manage Parkinson's. So we just happen to connect because you live with it and I happen to be one of those guys out there teaching stuff. But I got to tell you something. I've learned way more from the two of you than you learned from me. And I'm having you on here because the two of you inspire me so much. Thank you for your inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you. And
normally,
thank you for what you've done too.
Well, normally I'd say ladies first, but it's Father's Day. I'm sorry, Laura.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Russ, first of all, how you been feeling?
Pretty good. I have one major issue that cropped up, and it's mainly digestive related, and I'm working with my GI doctor.
Okay.
It has something to do with not producing enough digestive enzymes, so it's causing me grief because the absorption of my medication is dependent on the digestive system working well, especially digesting of protein. That is an issue there. So I'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
But I got this new GI doctor, right, and she's got a holistic approach, so that's good. We'll figure it out. Her and
That's
Dr.
good.
Mishka. But otherwise, feeling good. Moving well. I had a slacker period. I needed to kick myself in the butt a little bit and do some things to make sure I got my exercise in. But I'm back there, working hard.
Well, you're far from a slacker, both of you. And how many years ago were you diagnosed, Russ?
2016. So 8.
Okay.
8 years ago. I'm on my ninth, going on my ninth year.
You're mi hermano de otra madre, my brother from another mother. Laura, welcome.
Thank you.
How have you been? How you been doing?
Good. I'm feeling really good. I was in there like couple of months ago because I started to feel like weak. I didn't exercise much because of that, and I discovered that I had anemia. So I just worked on that, maybe because of hormonal changes. And so I feel really, really good. I had my iron supplement and doctor just supervising me and just giving me the treatment I needed. So I'm working out a lot. I feel really great. Thank you.
I remember we met 5 years ago last month in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
And so,
Yes, I met both of them.
So I don't think Elizabeth knows this story. She walks up to, Russ, you were with me. Remember? You were teaching with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You, Ruben, Dr. Stuart Gillespie, and me. And then Steve Capobianco was there too for a guest spot. So Laura walks up to me on a break. And I'm thinking, well, she looks healthy, and it must be that guy she's with has Parkinson's. You fooled me, man. I had no idea you had Parkinson's. What both of you have done to manage this is really why I want to have you here, because, well, like in 2 minutes, we got to go to a break already. Then we can dig into the meat and potatoes on this next few segments. But one thing I want to point out to everybody who's listening is Parkinson's doesn't define Laura. She isn't Parkinson's. Russ is not Parkinson's. They're people who live with Parkinson's. Russ is Russ. Laura is Laura. I mean, I don't know what other health problems either of you may have had ever, but Parkinson's is something you live with, so you're not defined by it. You live with it. You have to deal with it. Do you want to, could you kick in a question here? Maybe let's go with Laura first on this one. Motivation.
Yes. Laura, what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Well, really, as Carl was saying, I found hope in that workshop in Austin. And what keeps me going really is my friends, my PD friends. All of them are just like teachers to me, like mirrors. I see myself in them, and they just give me so much motivation. My family, oh my God, that's super special for me. Seeing Russ, for example, right now, I'm so happy to see you, Russ. You're a great inspiration to me. Karl has been there. I mean, I just texted him after the doctor told me just contact this guy. I'll start and maybe he could help you out. So I did, and he just answered back just very quickly. And I was there in Austin with my husband, and I met these two great guys. That's what keeps me going.
That was a really great day to meet you and to have our team together, Ruben, Ross, me, and then to have the guests of Dr. Gillespie and Dr. Capobianco. Okay, we're 30 seconds out for break, so I'm just going to take it out to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how Laura and how Russ fight back against Parkinson's, because they are a huge inspiration to people all over the world. They're well known all over the world. They're two of my heroes, two of my biggest inspirations. So you're listening to News Radio 570 WSYR, also on 106.9 FM. My name's Karl Sterling. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Hey, we're back. This is Your Health Matters, and we have two special guests, internationally known Parkinson's disease fighters, Laura Olmos and Russ Parker. Laura and Russ have both written in both of my books. Again, if you go to my website, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K, you can find the books there. They link to Amazon. You can buy them there, audio format or paperback, and Kindle too. Laura also drew her artwork, which I have the original beautiful canvas in my clinic, the cover for my second book, which we love. Thank you, Laura. So let's start off with Elizabeth has a question for Russ. Go for it.
Okay, Russ, I hear that you do what is called exercise snacking. I would like to know what that is, and I hear you do it often.
Yeah, well, it's actually a term that I heard about, I don't know how long ago it was a while back in a New York Times article. So that's where I heard the term. I like it. But it's something I've been doing for a long time. Since I've been into exercise, really, like as a teenager. And it's basically just fitting in short bouts of exercise all throughout the day, incorporating it into your daily life, taking shortcuts to get work done as opposed to not doing anything at all, and incorporating, actually making your daily activities exercises themselves. For instance, just sitting on the floor to watch TV instead of sitting up on the cushy couch actually creates a minor bit of exercise. You have to get up and down from the floor. You have to scooch around. After you've been sitting watching on the floor for a half hour, you have to move around to use your core a little. Just doing a few exercises, 2 exercises before breakfast, 2 before lunch, and 2 before dinner to get, things like those, examples like that. And it's good. That strategy is good for people who are hesitant to exercise and don't know what to do, or just have trouble fitting the exercise into the day. And it's also good for athletes too, because I talk about streamlining your exercise, how tactics to get the work in without having to put in a 2-hour workout or whatever. So you get more bang for your buck.
What I like about that is anybody can do it.
Yeah.
There's
all
somebody
levels.
we work with, I can't remember who it is, who instead of like going over a chair and sitting down once, they sit down like 10 times.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, I know you do, Russ.
You got somebody.
I can't remember who that is, but I remember someone saying that to
Yeah,
us.
yeah, there is somebody. They turn it into a sit-to-stand exercise because they can. So, Laura, I know, like you, what exercises do you feel are there any that you feel are absolute most beneficial for you and how you feel? Like maybe also touch on, we'll ask you this too, Russ, but what symptoms of Parkinson's do you find or what challenges do you face with Parkinson's? But what do you do to fight back against it that helps you the most?
Well, I could say I'm going to be this year 11 years from my diagnosis.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of symptoms that I somehow managed them. For example, I started to just fall down. I think in about 1 year and a half. I was just so scared and have a lot of rigidity, pain. And I said, no, I didn't accept that in my life. I didn't accept Parkinson's just to fit in my body and just feel comfortable. So I started again just to train again, balance, posture, and everything. In different. I think we have a little bit things different. I live in Mexico. Here, there's a lot of lack of resources, a lot of lack of therapies, treatments, and everything. So I just started by myself with what I have learned from your workshop and from others that I have taken along these years. So I think my most challenging symptoms has been when I started to fall down, pain. But as I say, I don't accept them in my life. So just say no to Parkinson's and just work on them. I collect happy moments, a lot of them. I have dopamine from natural sources, a lot of them. Like when, for example, I just remember once I just hug people. I just like to paint it. I asked permission. If they're not my family, can I just hug you? I mean, PD friends and my yoga friends. I love traveling with them.
Mm-hmm.
So exercises, for example, I do yoga, I run, I walk, I swim, I hike. I love walking. I just love to discover new places. Also, I work on my the cognitive cognition. Yeah, and I love learning new things. For example, I do paint, but I'm learning new techniques. I love to play music. I play guitar. I love singing, even though sometimes I think people doesn't appreciate that very much. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I've heard you sing. You're good, but I don't sing because I am not good.
I also keep I just watch how many water do I take daily, my nutrition. I just enjoy life as it is, day by day. If, for example, if today I don't feel so good, well, I do yoga and Tai Chi. If I feel like with a lot of energy, I run, I swim, everything. I mean, nothing stops me really. If you say, do you do this? If I don't, well, I'll try. I can't say I won't do it. Why don't do it?
So
I think I started to leave the word I can't out of my door.
Well, I love that.
That's awesome.
You can I bring this up? I just got to say, we were talking, one of the trips that you were translating for me a little while back, you were talking to the class or somebody about the name you gave Parkinson's. Yeah. I actually really like this. Do you mind sharing what that is and what you tell that entity to do?
Yes. My Parkinson's, his name is Timothy. And why did I give him a name? Because, every day Parkinson's that. I mean, it's just like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. So it's very funny because when I started to meet more people, more persons, for example, in last year, World Parkinson's Congress, I discovered that a lot of people does that. And why? Just don't have Parkinson's present in your life. Just hate them. Timothy's here. For example, I saw my daughter, Mariana. Oh, Mariana. Oh, Mom, how are you doing? Oh, well, Timothy's here. So I don't have to say Parkinson's, So my mind, somehow I trick him. So Parkinson's is not the center of my life. And that's very good. And even though I don't feel good, I smile. And if you say, do you want to go here? Even though I don't feel good, let's go. I do.
Well, that's a huge difference between you and a lot of people out there. And I'm also talking about people without Parkinson's, like me, who might not say, let's go, Russ, tell me, like, over the years, maybe most recent. Let's start with most recently, or even just summarize. Like, is there anything in particular that has been the biggest challenge for you, either physically or otherwise, with Parkinson's that you've figured out a way to manage effectively?
Well, there's a few challenges. I'm trying to think which one is the most. Sometimes there's things out of your control. Like I developed some dystonia in my foot.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like it's Parkinson's related because it doesn't happen when my medication is on well. But I don't like the fact that I get that. If I just go off a little, I could possibly get it. So I've been working on that. I've been working on corrective exercise. I do a lot of my toes curl up, so I'm doing a lot of toe crunches down.
Oh, okay.
Picking up marbles and releasing my quads help because I think that's in the same myofascial meridian. So things like that. That's one thing.
So you have, and I'm interrupting for 1 second because we have to go to break in a minute. You have, which is probably a little more atypical dystonia, where the toes are extending up. Because a lot of people have the toe flex down; they lose control. Yeah, and I don't know which one's worse because I never had either, but I can only imagine. I hear that's very painful.
Right now, I could get out of it, which is good. But
okay, we got to go to a break in half a minute. So think about this, Russ. Maybe if there's a way you deal with this dystonia, let's share that after the bottom of the hour news break. And Laura, I also want to make sure we talk about your role with the Davis Finney Foundation because you are their first ambassador in Mexico. Congratulations. So, folks, you're listening to Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570 WSYR with Elizabeth Brusa, Karl Sterling, and Laura Olmos Russ Parker as our guest. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back, and we're with Russ Parker and Laura Olmos, two amazing human beings who happen to live with Parkinson's disease. They are fighters, and they're fighting back, and they're the example, really, of what I think all people should be doing, Parkinson's or not, because they keep moving, they keep motivated, and they motivate others. I want to talk real quick about one thing that a lot of people don't necessarily know about Parkinson's, and it varies from person to person. There's these periods of what we can call on periods and off. On is when you're moving better. Off is when you're not moving as well. There's some people who don't have really either one. I've worked with them. They're always the same. You can always count on them moving exactly the same. But in more cases, though, more times than not, the on period is because they have taken some type of medication, probably a dopamine replacement like Sinemet, levodopa, carbidopa, whatever, and it helps them to get into a state of moving better, feeling better, moving more optimally for a period of time. But there can be problems. There can be issues. So, Elizabeth, I think you have a question, right?
Yes, for Russ. Russ, do you have unpredictable off times, and can I ask how long those time periods last?
Well, yes, I have them, and it's unpredictable to tell you how long they last.
True.
No, approximately a couple of times. I would say on average, maybe like a couple of times a day, and the amount of time could be a half hour. Sometimes longer, and it's a lot of times tied to timing of meals, and it's difficult. It's easier to control when I'm at home, but if I'm out somewhere socially, I by no means am quiet about Parkinson's and the requirements it has, but sometimes you just don't. It gets a little exhausting telling people, I have to eat exactly at 5:30 because otherwise, an hour and a half later, when I take my medication, if there isn't enough big enough gap from when I ate, I'm not going to be able to absorb my medication because the digestion of my meal is going to be competing with that. So I would say, Carl was asking what's your most frustrating, challenging thing. I would say that that right there, the unpredictable off times, because when I'm on, I'm moving well, I'm happy. I could do some things when I'm on. There are some things, some like athletic things that I could do as well as I did 30 years ago.
That's great.
Awesome.
I visited a friend, Gavin, right? Gavin Mogan.
I know, yeah. I sort of know him, yeah.
Laura knows him too. I made a stop in Texas and I had visited him, and we went to the batting cage, and he was throwing me pitches, and I hadn't picked up a bat in like 30 years or more maybe, and he threw me like 40 balls, and I made contact on every one of them just about.
That's amazing.
So we're just going to start calling you Slugger.
But baseball wasn't. I didn't really play that. After Little League, I really didn't play that much. Just casual softball games and stuff. But
That's cool.
People always have this question: why can I do this? I can't do that. How come I could run? I can't walk. I don't know all the answers to that. I have some theories about running and walking, Carl, it's from thanks to you, I learned those things because I met Dr. Emily through you, and you taught me some of those things. But a lot of it has to do with that whole communication between your foot, the ground, and your brain, and all that.
Well, on that note, I just do want to talk about something. I don't know if either of you use the Naboso insoles, but I am going to plug them right now. They are not a sponsor of the show, but we have them in my clinic, and we've had tremendous results in people using the insoles. These are textured insole, folks. Oh, by the way, I just want to say that one of the people who comes to see us said that his podiatrist says these are pieces of crap. Okay, so Dr. Podiatrist, you need to go back to school and learn about sensory receptors in the bottom of the feet, okay? I know you know what you're doing with other things in the feet. The skin on the bottom of the feet has the most sensory and small nerve receptors of all the skin on the body. They go to sleep over the years as we wear shoes and socks. They go dormant. Just go barefoot, you're going to wake them up and get more sensory input immediately, like the speed of light, right to the brain. Well, these insoles, you put these in and then put them, they're textured. They're not for support. They're not an orthotic. They're an insole with texture designed to stimulate and wake up those nerves to give you more sensory input so that you immediately have a stronger output to help you move better and stabilize better. With that said, I said it. If you want them, they're in my office. They're $55 a pair, or you can go online and buy them for $80 a pair. So anyways, Russ, you've had those in the past, and we didn't talk about this, but what's your experience?
I use them. I'm a trainer as well, so I've used them. I've had clients try them out, and they definitely have an effect. They have effect with me, and they've worked with clients. Some is dramatic, and you've seen that in your workshop. Some people walk with like a shuffle walk, and then you put the insoles in, and it's just because they, I guess, weren't making good contact with the ground, feeling that, foot to core reaction. The insoles kind of wake that up and kind of activate you, and
Totally.
then they go from shuffle walk to a normal walk. The only thing I would say is don't use them all the time.
Yeah, overstimulation is definitely a thing. I have that if I wear them too long. Russ, I want to move to Laura for a minute. Laura, you do a lot of running, right? Are you still running?
Well, I walk, run. It depends on how I'm feeling, and the temperature here is super hot. Now for the summer, I'm not running. I just do most of my exercise indoors.
Do you have anything in particular, like Russ? We were talking with Russ about on periods, off periods.
Not really.
Yeah, because when I've been with each of you, I've noticed that it's different, but everyone is different. So what would you say is your biggest challenge with Parkinson's?
I have dystonia in my right foot. But as Russ was saying, I work on it. I do a lot of mobility when I have a Parkinson's mobility coach from Canada. She gives us sessions, and I'm doing a lot better. It's like just stretching out, but it's very difficult because I think it's when it's your feet, the foot. It's like not the same. As much as you want to work on it, it's like a different type of stretching out. And so I think that's more difficult. So if you want to say this like in an off, but it's not really an off because I've seen so much friends who have PD and I can't call it an off.
Well,
but
the
like
off would be
pain.
right. The off would be more of a lack of dopamine circulating for one reason or another, neurotransmitter, brain telling the body what to do. The other thing I wanted to say about the insoles seems to have escaped my brain all of a sudden. Oh, they're for everybody. It's not just people with Parkinson's. This is for anybody. We have people with neuropathy, MS, or they just move better. I move better when I have them in. So there's a lot we can do. Laura, the other thing I wanted to start talking with you right now about before we go to a break and then continue talking about this is you, my friend, congratulations, are the first ambassador in Mexico for the Davis Finney Foundation. Tell us a little bit about what you do with them.
Well, yes, thank you. I'm very happy to be with them. I started off here with my diagnosis, looking out for information. There was no information here in Mexico, so I started looking out in the United States, as you guys know. So then I started participating in my local community, U.S. community, international community. So somehow I just got to them. Claudia Martinez, who was in the Muhammad Ali, just contacted me and she invited me. So what do I do as an ambassador? I connect the PD Hispanic community to information, to resources online, to therapies, to videos. So I'm very happy to share this information with all of them because sometimes there's a lot of information and resources.
I love it. Okay, we're going out for the last break. As I say every week, radio minutes are the fastest minutes of my life. So glad we have a 2-hour format. I think we're going to have to bring both of you on for a 2-hour segment at some point in the near future. You're with, you're listening to News Radio 570 WSYR. My name is Karl Sterling. This is Your Health Matters with Elizabeth Brusa, my co-host. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thanks, producer Anna, for always making things work so smoothly here. Folks, if you are looking to do anything in the realm of improving your, I'm going to go down a little list here, movement, memory, cognition, pain management, VO2 testing, resting metabolic testing, sleep management, gait, that's walking, learning to walk better, learning to walk more symmetrical, posture, help that edema get better and diminish. Neuropathy, get rid of that. We got devices to pretty much get rid of it or reduce the neuropathic pain significantly, quickly, usually. Get the lymphatic system moving. Or you have Parkinson's, MS, ataxia, multiple system atrophy, any kind of movement disorder, neurological disorder, including dementia, Parkinson's, cognitive decline, memory issues. We're here to help you. This is what we do. This is what I have devoted my career to, is to helping in all of these areas. We have the tools nobody else has in town. Oh, osteoporosis. Get you out of your bone density issues, your osteoporosis, reversing it, getting you into normal, healthy bone health, if you will. You call me, 315-935-7488, or Karl with a K, karlsterling.com. So, you had a question, I think, for Laura?
Yes, Laura. Before we went to break, we were talking about the Davis Finney Foundation. Could you tell us a little more about that foundation?
Yes, well, the Davis Finney Foundation is focused on helping people to live well today with Parkinson's. So basically what we do there is we have information online. We share videos with specialists and people who have Parkinson's like me. just our own testimony on how to live well today, and the information from the specialists in Parkinson's. So what I do as an ambassador right now with the Hispanic community in Mexico and other Latin American countries, well, we have Spain and other countries too, where there's Hispanic PD friends. So basically what we do is connect them with information. For example, people who are recently diagnosed and you don't know what to do well, it's really like very difficult situation. So maybe it's like more understanding for them, or maybe you feel a lot better when you reach out to someone who has the same condition as you, maybe the same age, maybe they speak your own language. If it's a woman, man, the age also. So we have ambassadors with different ages, different, maybe, for example, people who like arts, people who are working, who live alone. So we all are different. So we learn from each other and connecting to people and reaching out to information. I think that's what we do. And I love it to be there. And I'm so grateful to have this family, this new family in the Davis Phoenix Foundation, and just share to the world what there is. And we also just have this alliance with other Parkinson's institutions, for example, Parkinson's Foundation, Michael J. Fox, and others. So we collaborate together. We just join efforts to help us live well today with Parkinson's.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
I love how they're focusing on the person living with Parkinson's, and by no means any discredit to any other organization like Michael J. Fox or anything. Fox is very research based, so it's a little different, and they pull in billions of dollars, and they're doing a lot to help. But Davis Finney is special, and that's his name. He was a champion Olympic cyclist.
Cycling.
Yeah, and you know him. You've met him a couple times, and his wife, and sounds like they're really nice people from what you've told me.
Yes, yeah.
That's great.
Great.
I had another question. Oh, you know what? Here's what we have to do, because time goes so fast. I would like to ask each of you, and I'll start with Russ, as a takeaway message for our audience, in let's say about a 2-minute time frame here. If you can say in a couple of minutes, what are your words of wisdom, your words of advice for anybody living with Parkinson's as to what they should be doing?
Well, it might take 30 seconds more, but can I step out of the box for a minute and maybe read one of my poems?
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, I like those.
So this particular poem I had written a while, but I'm reworking it to actually have music and a little singing. So I'm going to get right to it because I know time is of the essence. So it might take about a couple of minutes. I'm not going to bother with the music now, unless you want to give me a little backbeat, something. But it's kind of like a rap. It's kind of like a rap.
Okay, go ahead. This is great.
This is called Muffle That Shuffle. I'll just go. Okay. I awaken. It feels like the ground is quaking. I try to walk steady to overcome the shaking. I'm not taking it. No mistaking it. Peter, you mess with my heart to the point of breaking it. You try to drag me down, but I'm not taking it. We're moving out of the past, into the present, turning trials into smiles, gonna make our life pleasant. We're moving out of the past, into the present, turning trials into smiles, gonna make our life present. I'm not high, I'm not crazy, I'm not drunk. I feel happy, I feel the funk. I'm unique, like the music of Thelonious Monk. I'm gonna muffle that shuffle, gonna smooth my stride, gonna calm inflammation so I stem the tide, gonna detox the toxins, unclog the fog. Gotta keep happy, gotta keep active, not be a lump on a log. Moving out of the past, into the present, turning trials into smiles, gonna make our life pleasant. We're moving out of the past, into the present, turning trials into smiles, gonna make our life pleasant. Hear the words I have spoken, our spirit won't be broken. Peter, you thought you had me, felt me choking. You gotta be joking, we're coming out smoking. Get out of the way, the beast has awoken, that is. No fear, no limits, never relent. I'll skip the chorus this time. Embrace the new world you live in. Let go of regrets, maximize what you're given. Be an optimist, an alchemist, a realist. Build your treatment team, that's your A-list. Failure leads to learning, so So learn and fail big. You'll adapt and grow the deeper you dig. Stay ahead of the game. Don't dig yourself a hole. Leverage your strengths. Achieve a daily goal. Grit is not enough. You need focus and smarts. Boosts knowledge and ability. Puts resilience off the charts. We're moving out of the past into the present. Turn the trials into smiles. Gonna make our life pleasant. Challenge your body. Challenge your mind. Socialize. Connect with people who are kind. Share your story. Be honest. Be open. Show some emotion. Ask for help. Help others. Put your plan in motion. Find joy in what you do. Spread the joy to others. Let's smile. Have fun with our sisters and brothers. Today is the day to rise up. Today is the day. So rise up. Today is the day. Rise up.
I love that, my friend.
That was beautiful.
Laura, we're going to have to ask you next time. First of all, we have like 15 seconds left, but I want to say thank you to both of you. We got to head out in 10 seconds. Thank you. Love you too so much. Folks, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Have a great week.
Bye.
The preceding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper? A woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver. I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions.